first Hindu temple has finally been erected on the land of the Arabs. Prime Minister Modi was at Abu Dhabi to inaugurate the temple that has been built by BAPS, the Swami Narayan Sansthan. This is not just a temple, but the new India standing confidently on its own 2 feet. The past treatment of PM Modi when he was not the Prime Minister has been offensive at the least and humiliating at the worst. From being denied a visa to the USA to being blackballed by the European nations, he was attacked and maligned at every possible front and was declared the poster boy of Muslim hate in India. But his work has proved otherwise. After becoming the PM, when he swore in the presence of the global leaders, was a statement in itself. His visit to the UAE came after a very long time, the last one by an Indian PM being Indira Gandhi in 1981. The relationship of India with the UAE has specially evolved during the Modi decade. The visit of the PM to the UAE in 2015, where he was personally welcomed by the then Prince of the Kingdom, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, transformed this bilateral relationship into a strategic partnership. The UAE today is the 3rd biggest trade partner to India and is also the 7th biggest investor. Just to quote one example, Saudi Aramco, a company that is backed by the Saudi government, is the biggest FDI investment in India to date. As we all have seen, PM Modi is great at building personal rapport with leaders across the world. And this has the potential of paying high dividends in case of Arabs because they are a monarchy. And what the rulers say ends up becoming the policy. When PM Modi came to power, people were afraid that the Modi government would then focus more on its relationship with Israel and might end up sidelining the Arabs. But what genius! He struck a perfect balance between both. India has engaged in a foreign policy that is completely non-intrusive to the Arabs and Israel conflict, be it any other conflict too, like the internal schisms of the Muslim world like the Shia and the Sunni tensions. The Modi government has maintained a clear line and drawn balanced boundaries. All this has been done while keeping India and Indians first policy as the top priority. PM Modi is also the first Indian PM to have received Palestine's highest civilian award for his contribution to promoting relations between India and Palestine. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, UAE have also conferred their highest civilian awards on him. Bahrain too has conferred the 3rd highest civilian honor. These are all Muslim countries. Just to remind you in case the communal bug bites you. PM Modi's vision of reorienting India's foreign policy, according to which neighborhood by the sea has now become standard policy, where it is accorded equal weightage to the neighborhood by land, is one of the root causes of why he has been able to forge such a bond with the Arabs. Even now, when PM Modi was at Abu Dhabi, there were numerous deals signed between the two nations. Let's take a brief look at a few of them. A bilateral investment treaty and a comprehensive economic partnership agreement with the UAE, which will enable more investments in both countries. An MOU on cooperation in the field of electrical interconnection and trade, which will open new areas in the field of energy security and energy trade. The Indian rupee will soon be acceptable across the UAE region with the agreement on interlinking domestic debit and credit cards. This instant payment platform of both countries will be integrated to facilitate seamless cross-border transaction between the two nations. The agreements were not strategic, but cooperation protocol between the national archives of the two countries. And the MOU for cooperation in the field of heritage and museum will also shape the shared cultural landscape of two nations. An intergovernmental framework agreement between India and UAE on the India-Middle East Economic Corridor was also signed to build on already progressive cooperation on this matter. It will help foster better regional connectivity. At the Ahlan Modi event, PM Modi gave a speech as he joyously celebrated the opening of a Hindu temple in the land of Mecca. This was a watershed moment, as this would not just bind us strategically but also emotionally. This was a gesture of goodwill and faith that will take this Indo-Arab relationship to new heights. Respect for Indians will increase in the region as their faith is respected in a land which was assumed impossible. In fact, this is not just a temple, but a monument of mutual respect and trust between two civilizations that want to walk ahead hand in hand.